Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Robmotive JT. Today, we've got to fix what seems to be, I guess, an ongoing problem with the sensitive Jeep Gladiator. And it's sensitive in a couple of ways. I'll tell you what those are in a minute. But right now, we got to head off to the gas station because this requires filling up the tank with some brand new, fresh petrol. All right, as you can see there, we made our stop at the gas station. What I did is I put in some fuel injector cleaner, and I did that once before as I went through my journey to try to figure out why the Jeep Gladiator was running rough. It would run rough, stopped when in drive. So like sitting at a light or whatever, obviously when you're going down the road, if it's running rough, unless it's really bad, you're not going to be able to feel it because of the bumps and the roads and everything else. But what I do, according to the directions, if I remember, this is how I did it anyway, I wait until the truck gets low on gas, which is what you're supposed to do. In this case, mine was a quarter tank. I probably should have gone lower, but I'll tell you, it's a struggle for me just to let it go that low. I'm one of those fill it up at half empty kind of guys, right? I like to keep the gas tank above half tank because I never want to run out of gas anywhere. That would be like the worst. So anyway, I dump it in and then put in some gas, and I'm just burning regular 89, 87, whatever the octane rating is there, the best I can get for the low end. I don't believe there's any benefit in running premium. I've ran premiums before and they don't do anything other than drain my wallet a little bit quicker. So I dump that in, fill it up with gas, and then let it do its thing. And the last time I did it was about 2.5, maybe 3 months ago, something like that. And it seemed to take care of the problem. The truck smoothed right out. It ran better from a vibration standpoint. And I didn't have the issue. And then just recently, again, about 2.5, 3 months after that, it started to vibrate again. It was just happening a little bit. It wasn't quite as bad as before, but starting to be noticeable. So hopefully we have the same results. I'll let you know in an upcoming video, and that will solidify it for me that indeed it's the fuel injectors that are gumming up, I guess, in the Jeep Gladiator. And I don't know why that is. You know, I'm not a mechanic, so I don't know the specifics of it, but logically to me, I know that the injectors spray out fuel. It's like a real fine mist of fuel, right? They fire, they spray, they fire, they spray. And I could imagine that if the holes in the nozzles for the injectors are maybe smaller than other vehicles, this is a pure guess on my part, that maybe they'd be more prone to gum up or clog up. And this is all kind of microscopic stuff, right? But maybe they'd be more prone to gum up than maybe something with a little bit bigger nozzle that sprays a little bit bigger mist of gas, if you will. And that's the reason that the Jeep Gladiator, at least mine, seems to have that issue. I don't know. That's my my logical, based on no knowledge, assumption of what's going on. So I mentioned that the Jeep Gladiator is a sensitive truck. And it really is. You know, now that I think I've solved this problem, we have sensitive fuel injectors. We also have the sensitive auto stop system. Many people have had the problem. I'm not going to drone on about that because I've talked about it before. But briefly, the auto stop not working, throwing a message up on your dash telling you that it's malfunctioning or whatever it says. And typically it seems to me to be a problem with the auxiliary battery. If you didn't know, there's an auxiliary battery for that system. And when the battery isn't charged, it doesn't work. It throws up a message. It tells you that there's a malfunction. I think there's even a message where it will state that the auxiliary battery is not functioning or has a low charge, whatever it says. I don't remember the exact verbiage. But it's funny, the gambit of repairs that dealerships seem to have run, at least from what folks have told me on the channel about issues that they've had with that system. I've heard of heads being replaced, partial rebuilds on the engine, the whole engine being replaced, the battery, as I mentioned, even wiring harnesses and stuff. So it seems to me that the dealerships themselves, and more broadly, the manufacturers, don't really have a good grasp on what the problem is. And there definitely is a problem. You know, there's been enough people that have told me they've had this same issue that I'm convinced it's not just me. And real quick, I just pulled up to a stoplight for the first time since putting that fuel injector cleaner in. And the truck seems to be running smoother already. And while I was talking after we left the gas station, the truck seemed to run a little better as well. It just seemed smoother, even going down the bumpy roads. I don't know, maybe it's the placebo effect. I don't know. I did something, so now the brain thinks something else is going on. But it does seem to be better. There's still a slight little vibration. I can see the phone actually moving a little bit, the reflection in it, but it seems to be better and it seems to be smoother just driving down the road right now. I don't know. I'm pretty convinced that adding some fuel injector cleaner in does the trick. If you're having the same problem, I would highly recommend that you do the same thing. Get yourself a bottle. It costs 8 to 12, 15 bucks, whatever it is. I'll leave a link down below to some. But get yourself a bottle if you're having that issue and put it in. You know, I know my buddy Randall, he does the same thing. He puts some cleaner in his engine every, I forget how many thousands of miles. He measures his by miles because he drives his more than I do. I go by time, months, something like that. So anyway, I would give it a shot. Dump some in there. Can't hurt anything. I mean, worst case is you'll just clean your injectors, your fuel system a little bit. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here, talk about that. You know, the more exposure I have to the Jeep Gladiator, and this is my third, by the way, the more I'm convinced that it really is a sensitive beast, a sensitive truck. It just seems to have sensitive systems, and we can thank that to technology, right? Oh, there goes a nice Gladiator. You guys might have seen it. No, probably not. It's on the other side, but a nice lifted black Jeep Gladiator. Pretty cool. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know if you have that same issue. If you're experiencing a vibration, have you tried the fuel injector cleaner, and what was your experience with it? I'd be very curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about the Toyota Tacoma, which, by the way, has never had any issues, runs very smoothly. You know, Toyota really does have it down. And Mod Driven, all about my most recent car, project car on that channel, and that's a Honda Civic Sport Coupe 6-speed manual transmission. Love being back in that Honda manual. It's the best one out there. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here too. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.